running to Annie, And again, not talking about the school that you worked at or the students, because it doesn't even make any sense. There's no continuity between, no way to converge between this teacher, bringing up the children of that generation, and then hopping in a barrel at 63 and taking it over. It's most of her students probably didn't know that she did this. I think if some were there, they would have tried to talk her out of it. Probably distract her with like a question, like a teacher question. Can you help me out with this? And see if they can tap into that instinct of hers, and maybe distract her from the barrel. Distract her from the fact that she didn't have a retirement plan, which is very common. That's the poor. You see, you always have to judge the quality of the poor of the time. The poor of that time, it was elderly. No one wanted to take care of them. Use them up to a certain point, and then you're like, well, what am I getting, right? And this is her plan. It's not something most financial advisors would put as a way it's not really diversification, is my point. It's like don't invest in stocks in one area. She's pretty much putting all her eggs in one barrel here, if you excuse the pun. And it's why it worked out for her. There's a lot of people who did not make that trip. They didn't have the special. I mean, this is almost NASA-like when I look at this barrel. Now, the more I'm starting to think about it and think about her in the barrel and that tapering at the bottom. And see, it has more bands. It's a little heavier. It's weighted. This person was thinking. I wonder if they had weighed her. She probably didn't even understand it, because clearly she didn't understand the physics. We know she didn't understand the physics. Why? Because she never would have gotten in the barrel if she understood the physics, the vector calculus, the differential equation that she was in the middle of, kind of lost. X with respect to Y, Y with respect to Z, Z with respect to A, B with respect to C. I mean, let's keep going. I mean, how many movements in this fluid water had to be accounted for her to know that this was going to happen? And but clearly she had a good support system around her, and she was able to do it. And she was able to end the last part of her life with dignity, with barrel stories. And I think that's why I chose this. That's why I chose her among the women. She was like, again, I would say, of the women I had, she was not even in the first. She was probably in the top. She was in the top 100. She was low down. So I'm going to use my next video log probably to go through some other women who I think, some of them may be less, less drastic, less seismic event. With less seismic events in their life as this woman. I mean, this isn't really an intellectual activity. It's more of an exercise in how much a person would go through with a very poor retirement planning. So, again, next time, thank you for all of your comments, and we'll meet then. Thank you.